Welcome back to SMKR. This is Steve. Up next is the MPC Night 2000 Knight Rider. Now this is the original release from 1982, and thought we'd have a look at the kit and its parts and show you how much this differs from the repop that just came out recently from MPC. And we'll point that out to you as we go along. Let's look at the box art. As we look at the side, some screenshots from the movie, promotion to win a Corvette, side box. This is kit number 0675. Open it up, and this box has already been opened. Obviously, I bought it used. First thing we see are the instructions, and like I said, they have the promotion to win a Corvette from MPC, and then we have the instructions here, and they are yellowed. You have the paint color callouts. And of course, you start with the engine assembly first. Fold it out. You have a stock fuel injection or turbocharged engine. And we move on to the chassis, front suspension pieces, installing the rear suspension, exhausts, assembling the tires, two different options for wheels. Flip it over. Sorry about that. Working once again on the chassis, the interior with the unique dash design and steering wheel. Interior bucket, installing components in the engine compartment area, the body, the overhead console, windows, putting the body onto the chassis, and the option of two different hoods, and the nose piece. And that's it. That's the instructions. 1982 vintage. Now let's talk about the body, because on the repop is not the same body as what you have in this original issue. Zoom in here a little bit. Okay. The repop gives you all the markings. Gives you the Pontiac symbol on the back. It gives you the Firebird symbol up here. It does not give you the vent along here that kit's supposed to have. Okay, so it's a different body that you get on the reissue. Also on the reissue, they do provide the molding on the side. Now what I've seen in photographs, the car did have the molding on the side. That's the only thing that the car did retain stock, was the molding. Now I have seen other photographs, and I know that they used more than one Firebird for filming the show. So there were some that had the molding and some that didn't. Now some of the newer kits that are out there that weren't used for the film, but these were guys that are a big fan of the show, made their own cars, they left the molding off on their cars. So I haven't seen any newer, what do you want to call, type cars from your fans that where they actually put the molding on. But the original car did have the side molding. Okay, let's look at the kit parts. Now the original release just gives you the smoked glass. If you'll notice, it's not real dark though. It's a very light tint and actually looks pretty nice. The T-tops also are a light tint color also. And this kit did come with the rear taillight assembly. On this one, it's just plain Jane. There was actually no markings to show that it actually is looks like a taillight assembly or anything like that. It's just a solid red piece. Now my copy was damaged while it was in storage. Apparently, if you leave these cars out in the heat, if rubber tire comes in contact with any plastic pieces like that, it actually will melt it and leave a groove in it. And that's what actually happened to my red taillight assembly. These tires are pretty much the same as what we see on the reissue. So the original release did come with the BF Goodrich Radial TAs and does have a very nice tread pattern to them. Now, to prevent further damage to any plastic pieces with this rubber tire from the heat while it's in storage, I went ahead and put the tires in a separate poly bag, and that should prevent those from damaging the kit any further. If you're a kit collector and you have a bunch of kits out in the heat and out in the elements, if you haven't done this, expect to find damage to your model cars because of the rubber tires. Here's the chrome tree. It looks pretty much the same as the new reissue. We have two different style hubcaps, Pontiac style ones and then the custom rimmed ones. And you have some other chrome pieces for the engine. Looks like the carburetor, engine parts. Here's the interior tub. Has very nice texture representing carpet. So really you wouldn't really have to throw any flocking into this at all. Good representation of the center console, side armrests, door handles, the back seat. Next we have the chassis. The chassis itself, very crisp, refined. Details of the gas tank, the frame, front clip, engine compartment, some wiring. So it actually looks pretty good. Here's the next sprue tree. Gives us the two front seats. Gives us the dash mechanism, which looks pretty good. Gives us the front nose clip and the rear clip. Front nose clip has a Knight 2000 etched on it. I'm not sure if that's actually was the case on the real filming model or not, filming car. And of course, with this one, since this kit does not come with decals, the original did not come with decals, but the repop does, then you actually have a Knight provided on the rear clip. Get a closer look at these. Let's look at the dash. And the seats. Looks pretty good. Alright, here's some more parts. We actually have rear suspension components. You have front suspension components, springs, the seat backs, and alternate hood option. Now this hood is different than the repop. The repop does give you a different optional hood, and it had some different weird louver things on top. So this is a total different, clean, stock looking Firebird Trans Am hood. It's not the one that Kit would wear. And like I was saying, this is not actually the car. Included with this is the original. The repop gives you a different car body and hood. Turn it over. We do have some detail underneath the stock hood, but this does give you some good details. I was apprehensive to buy this kit. I have a good friend who knows his model kits and knows die cast really well, and he told me this was just an awful kit and he wouldn't recommend that I get it. But since Aoshima has come out with some nice models of this, I had to get this to see how this compares to the Aoshima. The Aoshima is nice too, but it's curbside. It doesn't give you an engine. The Aoshima also gives you the chrome mold, the molding on the side here. Aoshima gives you this, gives you the molding. It's pretty accurate compared to the filming car. Alright, the next sprue tree gives you the wheel assemblies, the exhaust system, the dual exhaust system, battery. Then the next tree gives us our engine, firewall, radiator hoses. It's quite a detailed engine actually. Get a closer look at it. Look at these heads for the engine. Actually gives you the internal workings inside the head. That's pretty cool. Different belts, exhaust manifold, engine block, oil pan, intake manifold. Like we were saying, they give you a normally aspirated engine or the turbocharged engine. More interior parts here. You have the top of the dash, you have the overhead console, and you have another side console and the steering wheel. Let's get a closer look at these. Very nice. You know, I was surprised by the number of parts included with this kit. And some more pieces and parts. We have the rear spoiler, right here, and the radiator, and lastly we have Kit's hood. So that would be the turbocharged version type of hood. And it's actually opened up in the back there too for the ram induction. So let's do a recap on the body itself. This body is probably more accurate than the repop, and the reason why I'm saying you don't have to sand off any of the Firebird or Trans Am markings that are on this. However, the only thing that's not accurate about this, it does not give you the door molding. And I will show photographs at the end of this showing you how the car did have door moldings. However, this does have the nice, you could call that a louver there on each side. Nothing special on the back end. And I believe Kit didn't have any distinguishing marks on the back either. Nothing that said Firebird or Trans Am on the back. It was just plain. The Aoshima kit gives you all this plus the door moldings. So the Aoshima kit is a little more accurate than this is. Now, there's no clear piece for the front. They expect you to paint this red, and there's no decals for this either. The repop gives you a decal for that. Kind of simulates the eyeball going back and forth. Obviously, you can buy separate lighting kit to simulate that rotating eye. Head over to HPI guy. He did a review on the repop for this kit, and when you look at that, you'll see the major differences between this kit and the repop. So this kit, the original, is different compared to the repop. Thanks for watching. Happy modeling, everybody.
car for about 3 years. It's a 1991 Trans Am GTA, and I have completely transformed it into kit by changing the fenders, the hood, the Knight Rider Season 4 nose, and a Season 1 dash. It's a good running car. You know, being what it is, it's got the 2-port motor, and it's got a 373 gear in it. The motor's got a little top end work on it, too. It runs good for what it is. I think since I started driving, I always wanted a kit. I probably had about 15 or 16 third-gen Firebird Trans Ams. I remember watching it when it first came out. I would have been 3 years old. The car, obviously, is in the show, could do absolutely anything. And I don't know, I just think it's the coolest car there is. The first thing I did is I started looking at, obviously, screenshots, just Googling images of the car. And then I found a couple forums, and there's a bigger community out there for Knight Rider than I even knew there was. I started off with buying just the nose, and then I actually found a dash used, because buying this dash new and ready to install is close to $10,000. So I found one on eBay that somebody had already previously bought and had in their vehicle, and I got the switch pod, the steering wheel, and the lower console off of chat boards and eBay, and I just had to modify those and bodywork everything, and I molded the switch pod to the dash and just had it all bodywork so that it all flowed into each other. This car's got way more attention than I ever expected. Just now, on my way to meet up with you guys, there was a guy at the gas station that had no idea what kit was, but he was mesmerized by the dashboard and he wanted to know what it was, and I told him to go on YouTube or Google Knight Rider, and he'd find out all about it. I let people get in here and take pictures and just hang out, and you know, I remember seeing one of these as a kid at Autorama, and I always wanted to get in it, and you know, I know they let you, but I'll take it out to just a weekly cruise night, let all the kids climb in it, push the buttons, turn the dash on, watch the TV show. I just like to let everybody else enjoy it too. That's why I built the car.